Okay, students, good morning, all of you. Our next topic discussion cloning vectors. Yesterday, we have discussed about how do restriction nuclease engine can cut DNA, overhanging sticky ends. So, in that sticky ends, foreign DNA is inserted. When foreign DNA is inserted, it could form recombinant DNA. Okay, that's all. Now we will discuss cloning vectors. So see under the rules of recombinant DNA technology. In that what I said, first one is enzymes, next one is cloning vectors, and third one is host organism. There under the tools I said about these briefly, simply shortcut points. Now about cloning vectors, we will keep a complete information. We will keep discussion about cloning vectors, complete information. So before that, here cloning vectors already that's we have discussed. See that the plasmid DNA or carrier DNA is used to transform foreign DNA into the suitable host is called vectors. Is called vectors. Vectors. Okay, plasmid DNA. The plasmid DNA or carrier DNA. The plasmid DNA or carrier DNA used for transferring foreign DNA, desired DNA, alien piece of DNA, or gene of our interest. All are same. Foreign DNA, desired DNA, gene of our interest, alien piece of DNA. All are same. So vectors are used for transferring foreign DNA into the suitable host is called vectors. Vectors. Vectors used. Vectors used. Vectors used to transform foreign DNA sequences. Vectors used to transform foreign DNA sequences into the suitable host is called cloning vectors. Cloning vectors. Cloning vectors. Okay, so that is the explanation. Cloning vectors. Okay, see here vectors use to transform vectors. What is vector? You may get out. See, we have seen already many times. I have shown that. So this is called vector. Vector. Okay. So vectors used to transform foreign DNA sequences into suitable host is called cloning vectors. There are a number of cloning vectors. Those are plasmids, bacteriophages, plasmids, plasmids, bacteriophages, cosmids, cosmids, plant and animal viruses, plant and animal viruses, artificial chromosomes of bacteria and yeast, artificial chromosomes, artificial chromosomes, artificial chromosomes of bacteria and yeast, plant and animal viruses, plant and animal viruses, transposons are jumping genes. Transposons are jumping genes, are mobile genes. Mobile genes. These are present, mobile genes are present in some bacteria. Why we are calling mobile genes means in which the DNA sequence oftenly changes. Okay, oftenly the DNA sequence is oftenly changes from one place to another place. Okay, so such kind of genes are called mobile genes. So these are all called commonly used vectors. Among these, most frequently used vectors are plasmids, plasmids, bacteriophages. Very frequently plasmids, rarely bacteriophages they will be used. Okay, along with that, plant animal viruses also used. So here the plasmids, what are plasmids? Plasmids are autonomously replicating circular extra chromosomal DNA is called plasmids. Plasmids are autonomously replicating circular extra chromosomal DNA is called plasmids. Plasmids are used in genetic engineering experiments because it is very easy to isolate and reintroduce into the host organisms. That is why plasmids of different organisms are collected. Plasmids are present in different types of bacteria. So that plasmids of different organisms are collected and used in genetic engineering experiments because it is easy to isolate. Plasmids are easy to isolate and reintroduce into the host organisms. Okay, so bacteriophages also. Bacteriophages means what? Some viruses that infect bacteria. Such type of viruses are called bacteriophages. Okay, bacteriophages also they will use as a vector. Bacteriophages they will be disarmed. Actually, bacteriophages basically pathogenic in nature. So those pathogenic organisms they will be made into less pathogenic, disarmed. Pathogenic nature they will be made into disarmed. The gene which causes harmful effects, that gene is eliminated, then that disease causing organisms they cannot cause diseases. That is called disarmed. Okay, so in their body, some body organs they will be made into defect, disarmed, then they will use in genetic engineering. So these are all naturally used cloning vectors. These are all naturally used cloning vectors. Apart from these naturally used cloning vectors, some of the vectors are artificially restructured vectors are also is there. Artificially restructured vectors. Artificially restructured vectors. Artificially restructured vectors. Okay, artificially restructured. Apart from the natural cloning vectors, some of the artificially restructured vectors are synthesized by various kinds of scientists. Among those, first one is PBR322. 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 It is plasmid. P stands for plasmid. Bolivar B. Plasmid. Already everybody knows that. Plasmid. B. Bolivar. Bolivar. R. Rodriguez. Rodriguez. It is a numerical designation 322. Why specifically 322 given? So there are 321 bacteria. 321 artificially restructured vectors are there in genetic engineering experiments. That's why, in order to give numbers to all the artificially restructured vector, they have given 322. Okay, so PBR 322, Plasmid, Bolivar, Rodriguez. Like that PUC, yesterday I said that PUC 19101, PUC 19101, 19101. P stands for plasmids. UC, University California. University California. In that university, they have restructured this type of vector. Therefore, it is called PUC 19. It is a numerical designation 19101. Like the test one chromosome, one vector, I said that PSC 101. P stands for plasmids. Stanley, S stands for Stanley. C stands for Cohen. PSC 101, numerical designations. Like that, there are number of artificially restructured vectors are available in genetic engineering experiments. With the help of them, they are doing number of experiments. Okay, so this is the explanation about cloning vectors. Okay, so in textbook PBR 322 diagram also given. So about that diagram explanation I will give next class. Okay, so to explain that today topic I have to finish. After that, tomorrow I should enter to that topic of cloning vectors. So now whatever I have am saying that this is introductory part to the cloning vectors. But from this introductory part, they will not ask any question, but object to discussion. So for the sake of object to discussion, I am saying this is okay. So next, here plasmids and bacteriophages. So among those many of vectors, especially plasmids and bacteriophages, why they are using in genetic engineering experiments, you may get doubt. To conclude that doubt, here plasmids and bacteriophages are able to autonomously replicate they themselves using replicating enzymes and produces a number of copies. Plasmids, every time I used to draw plasmid diagram. In such a way, bacteriophages also. So rather than bacteriophages, plasmids very fastly replicates. Okay, so plasmids and bacteriophages are replicating independent of others. That means what? They themselves autonomously replicating using the host body and produces number of copies. So here plasmids, bacteriophages, plasmids, plasmids. See, plasmids. Some of the plasmids contains one or two gene copies in those cells, in plasmid cells. Some of the plasmids contains one or two gene copies, two genomes in their body, one or two genomes in their body. So with the help of one or two those genomes only, we can multiply number of copies. Some of the plasmids, some plasmids contains one or two genes only. Some other plasmids, there are number of bacteria there. Every bacteria contains plasmids. Some of the bacteria, plasmids contains one or two genes. Some other bacteria, some other bacterial plasmids, some other plasmids contains 15 to 100 copies of genes. 100 copies of genes. So these one or two plasmids we can multiply, no problem. How many we want, those many we can multiply. Some of the plasmids contains 15 to 100 genes. Even that number also we can be increased. Okay, so that is the explanation. But bacteriophages number is more and more per each cell. Per each cell. In each and every cell, bacteriophage contains a number of genes. Okay, so those are all the genes they themselves multiply. Already we discussed bacteriophage, attack bacteria and produce a number of new bacteriophages. When number of bacteriophages are formed, those bacteriophages break down the bacterial cell and expelled out. Okay, so here differentiation between plasmids and bacteriophages what? Bacteriophages per each cell contains number of copies of genes. But plasmids, some plasmids in each cell contain one or two. In some other kinds of plasmids, each cell contains 15 to 100 genes. Like this way, plasmids and bacteriophages contains genes. Those genes number we can be multiplied. Those gene number we can be multiplied using suitable host. So if this plasmid is combined with foreign DNA, then it called recombinant DNA. This recombinant DNA will be transferred. If this recombinant DNA is transferred into the host, in the host organism, using host to the body, using host to body, it can be multiplied millions of copies. Same situation in case of bacteriophages. Okay, so this is the introductory part. So some of the features are required to facilitate cloning in a some of the features are required to facilitate cloning process in a vector. So what are those features? So the first feature is origin of replication. Short form ORI. It is already I said on molecular biology. On molecular biology, it is already said. Okay, origin of replication. This is a sequence from where replication starts and produce multiple copies when foreign DNA is linked with this sequence. That is called origin of replication. It is the first feature. It is compulsory required. It is compulsory required to facilitate the cloning in a vector. Cloning, to facilitate cloning means to provide number of copies in a vector. So origin of replication. So DNA must have ORI sequence. In that particular sequence only DNA replication starts. DNA replication occurs with the help of DNA-dependent DNA polymerase. Already said. Already on 6th chapter I said. 6th chapter is related to the 12th chapter, that is 11th, 12th chapter biotechnology. Okay, so DNA contains hundreds of ORI sequences. In that particular hundreds of ORI sequences only replication process initiates. So what is the advantage of having multiple ORI? Within short time it can produce number of new copies of DNA. If only one ORI is present in our body, it takes 100 times much time, 100 times more time. Okay, so much time required. Okay, if at least for formation of new daughter DNA, 8 hours takes. 8 hours takes. Okay, so if only one ORI sequence is there, much time, hundreds doubles time. Okay, so in such cases, our body will not compensate DNA formation. DNA deficiency happens. So that's why. So DNA contains hundreds of origins of replications. So those hundreds of origins of replications are involved in replication process and produces daughter DNA. Okay, daughter DNA. So this is already we discussed the same point here. So it is the sequence. It is the ORI means it's a sequence from where replication starts. From where replication starts. For example, this is here ORI is there. This is ORI sequence. Okay, so in biotechnology, what we will study when a piece of ANDN is introduced here with the help of this sequence. So this and this, it is a plasmid, it is a foreign. These two are transferred into the E. coli bacteria. In the E. coli bacteria, both will be integrated and produces multiple copies. Okay, so this is the sequence from where replication starts and produce multiple copies. When a piece of alien DNA is introduced to this sequence. Okay, so this sequence, ORI sequence, can control the higher copy number, can control the production of higher copy number. If you want to produce more and more foreign DNA, whose ORI supports such kind of ORI only we need to take. Okay, ma? That's all. Once again, origin of replication. So, origin of replication, this is the sequence from where replication starts. ORI sequence are here. Any place, the sequence from where replication starts, and when any piece of DNA here, one foreign DNA is introduced. After introducing this part, it will transfer into the E. coli bacteria. The E. coli bacteria, using E. coli mechanism, it will produce multiple copies. ORI, origin of replication, is a sequence from where replication starts and produces multiple copies of foreign DNA when alien DNA or foreign DNA is linked to this sequence, linked to this ORI sequence. So ORI can perform two functions. In some places ORI will not support multiple copies. In some places it will support multiple copies. Okay, ORI sequence can control the production of multiple copies. Can control the production of multiple copies. That's why if you wanted to recover, if you wanted to produce multiple desired DNA, whose ORI supports produce multiple copies, such kind of ORI needed to be selected in cloning process. This is the first feature required. Okay, whose ORI supports? Sir, you may get out how we can get to know that, sir. We don't know. But who are doing continuously genetic engineering experiments, even in a horticulture university, this kind of techniques are doing regularly. They will do this cloning process, recombination process, production of multiple copies of DNA. This process regularly they will do. I announced to show that horticultural university to your seniors, but due to lack of time, I am unable to show. But at least for you, if time permits, we will go and look it. Okay, if you see that gel electrophoresis, recombinant DNA technology, synthesis of artificial DNA, everything in Bagalkota Horticulture University, it was there. Okay, so simple. We can take a permission. With the permission, we can go and have a look on entire biotechnological applications in Horticulture University. So if time permits, we will go and have a look at that. So this is the first feature that is required in cloning process. Okay. So second point, selectable markers. Selectable markers. Selectable markers. See here, selectable markers. In addition to ORI, origin of replication, vectors needs selectable markers. So vectors. Vector means what? This is vector. In addition to ORI, vectors. In addition to ORI, vectors need selectable markers. Vectors need selectable markers. What are selectable markers? Okay, so in this plasmid, it is called plasmid user as a vector. In this plasmid, automatically selectable markers are present. Specifically, we need to bring and put it. So those selectable markers can selectively identify and eliminate non-transformants. Non-transformants. Non-transformants, nothing but non-recombinants. Non-recombinants. Okay, those selectable markers are present in this one. Those selectable markers identify and eliminate non-transformants and selectively permitting the growth of the recombinants or transformants. Transformants are recombinants. Transformants are recombinants. See here, what does meaning of non-transformants or non-recombinants? Transformants are recombinants. Let me know that. Let us see here. Let me teach about that. Non-transformants. See, some of the DNA, that is foreign DNA, is not combined with this. Just namesake it will combine, but it was not integrated with plasmid to facilitate replication. Those are called non-transformants or non-recombinants. Okay, so such non-recombinants or non-transformants are identified and eliminated by the selectable markers present in cloning vectors. Okay, so and selectively permitting the growth of transformants or recombinants. Recombinants means what? Some of the DNA able to combine with this and performs replication process, but some of the DNA fragments does not combine with the vectors. So such kind of such type of DNA fragments are called non-recombinants, non-transformants. Non-recombinants or non-transformants. Such type of non-recombinant or non-transformants are identified by the selectable markers present in the vector and eliminated them, and selectively permitting the growth of transfer. Which type of DNA is able to combine or integrated with vector? Such type of transformants are identified and selectively permitting the growth of those transformants. Here, transformation is a procedure through which a foreign DNA is linked to this vector DNA. That process is called transformation. Some of the foreign DNA segments are not combined with these. Such kind of DNA fragments are called non-transformants. It is also called non-recombinants. Such kind of non-transformants are eliminated, identified and eliminated. Okay, so some of the foreign DNA or desired DNA or alien DNA or gene of our interest able to replicate, able to combine with vectors. Such kind of DNA identify and selectively permitting the growth of transformants. Transformants are recombinants. Okay, here definition transformation. What is transformation? Transformation is a procedure through which a foreign DNA or alien piece of DNA or desired DNA or gene of our interest can be integrated with plasmid vector. Okay, after integration, this is they will be combined. So autonomously replicating circular recombinant DNA are formed. Then it will be transferred into the E. coli bacteria, where it can be multiplied and produces multiple copies of desired DNA or alien piece of DNA or gene of our interest. Okay, so that is called selectable markers. So that is the next. What are selectable markers? So in plasmid gene will be there. The gene encoding means providing resistance to certain antibiotics. That is ampicillin, tetracycline, chloramphenicol, kanamycin. Tetracycline, chloramphenicol, kanamycin, these are all antibiotics. Against these antibiotics, this plasmid gene contains resistance. Okay, so these are all called antibiotics. Against these antibiotics, plasmid gene contains resistance. Okay, so these ampicillin and the tetracycline, these two are called selectable markers. These two are selectable markers which are present in the plasmid DNA. Okay, these are present in the plasmid DNA. So these two, ampicillin and tetracycline, these two selectively identify the non-transformants, eliminate them, and permitting the growth of the transformants. Okay, so ampicillin, tetracycline, these two are selectable markers which are present in this one. Generally, so in the plasmid, the gene encoding resistance to the ampicillin, tetracycline, chloramphenicol, and okay, so these are all antibiotics. So to these antibiotics, plasmid gene encoding resistance to certain antibiotics such as ampicillin, tetracycline, chloramphenicol, kanamycin. Okay, so if the gene is exposed to these antibiotics artificially, so these antibiotics, against these antibiotics, this gene had developed resistance power. Okay, so E. coli cells don't carry any antibiotic resistant genes. E. coli cells don't carry any antibiotics resistant genes. Okay, that's it. So because of this, some of the bacteria had antibiotic resistance power. Against the antibiotics, resistance power is present in some of the bacteria. That's why whenever any disease we are suffering at that moment, so if you will take antibiotics also, that disease immediately could not get control because of in some kinds of diseases, whatever maybe the microorganisms are entered in our body and causing disease, those microbes have developed resistance against some antibiotics. Okay, that's all. These are selectable markers. Selectable markers are mainly ampicillin, tetracycline. These two identify the recombinants and non-recombinants, which can suitable to the vector, which is not suitable. Not suitable DNA is eliminated. Suitable DNA is allowing the growth in host organism. So those are called selectable markers. About it, not finished. Next, one more topic is there, cloning sites. Cloning sites, if you study that, then you will understand clearly about the selectable markers. Okay, so next, cloning site, now today I will not keep discussion. Tomorrow we will see. I mean, cloning site, if I will start also, it will not finish it. So in freshly, that topic I should start from the beginning. In that class one, I should end it. Today half, tomorrow half, not like that. Okay, that's right. Next, next molecular weight. So the cloning vector should have low molecular weight. The cloning vectors should have low molecular weight. Then only the cloning process occurs effectively. Next one. Next heading is vectors for cloning. Vectors for cloning genes in plants and animals. Genes in plants and animals. This is the fourth feature. Vectors, like this only some vectors. Vectors for cloning genes. For cloning desired genes. For cloning the desired gene and transfer into plants and animals. So what is the vectors? What type of vectors? Here, bacteria and viruses. Bacteria and viruses are used. Bacteria and viruses transfer genes from their body into plants and animals. Bacteria and viruses transfer genes in plants and animals and force plants and animals to do what the bacteria want and virus wants. This is naturally happening in agriculture field. Okay, so bacteria, viruses attack on plants and animals and transfer the bacterial and viral genes into the plants and animals and force the plants and animals to do what bacteria and virus want. Okay, so for example, one bacterium, that is agrobacterium agrobacterium tumefaciens. So this is the pathogenic bacteria which causes diseases in dicot plants. It is a pathogenic bacteria, it causes diseases in dicot plants. So under transfer DNA from this bacteria to plants. That DNA is called tDNA, transfer DNA. Okay, agrobacterium tumefaciens is a pathogenic organism in dicot plants and causes diseases. So this bacteria will transfer DNA, the DNA is called tDNA, into the plants and convert normal plant cells into tumor cells, and those tumor cells produces a kind of chemicals which are required to the bacterium, agrobacterium tumefacium and survive. In such a way, agrobacterium tumefacium force the plant to do what bacteria want. So when tumor cells are releasing chemicals, those chemicals are useful to the bacteria. In such a way, their population is multiplied. And one more virus about bacteria here we have seen. Virus, that is retrovirus. Retrovirus. This is entered into the animal cells and convert normal cells into cancerous cells. Convert normal cells into cancerous cells. How? This virus insert gene into the retrovirus inserted gene into the animals. In the animals, normal cells converted into cancerous cells and causes diseases in animals. But now these agrobacterium tumefacients and retroviruses are genetically modified. So their pathogenic nature is converted into non-pathogenic. The gene which is synthesizing tumors, that gene is eliminated. In the retroviruses, the gene which is synthesizing cancerous cells, that cancer gene is eliminated. Now, these retroviruses and agrobacterium tumefacients are using in genetic engineering experiments as cloning vectors. Okay, so agrobacterium tumefacient nature is pathogenic. That pathogenic organism is converted into non-pathogenic. The gene which is synthesizing tumor cells, that gene is eliminated. If the gene is eliminated, the bacteria is non-pathogenic. It is used as a vector to multiply gene of our interest. Those multiplied genes are transferred into the plants and different species of plants. In the same way, retroviruses also disarmed, genetically modified. Cancer producing gene is eliminated and used as a vector to multiply gene of our interest. Then they are transferred into the animals. Okay, so that is called vectors for cloning genes. Those genes are transferred into plants and animals. Okay, so there are 5 features are required. 5 features are required to facilitate cloning into vectors. Origin of replication, selectable markers. In between selectable markers and the molecular weight, one heading is their cloning sites. After cloning site, molecular weight. Molecular weight, after molecular weight, vectors for cloning genes in plants and animals. So among these 5 headings, I have a discussion about 4 headings. 5th heading is very important, that is continued after selectable markers. But it is a big topic, it takes 40 minutes of time. Okay, so that topic freshly tomorrow. From the beginning, we will keep discussion. In the discussion about selectable markers also, so little bit conclusion you will get it. Okay, so with this topic, so cloning vectors topic almost finished. Okay, today meeting session is finished. Okay, so I am ending the meeting. Get ready for next class.